Hey, what's up, you guys? So, I know this is kind of a little different way of doing average Rob runs video, but I've been asked a couple of times, why did I start running 2 years ago? And I'm going to tell you a little story as to why I started running a little over 2 years ago. And it actually started with I guess you could say my health, my weight, was kind of playing a big role in it. So, I essentially woke up one morning. I was getting ready for work. I was getting in my uniform and I was putting on my pants. And I noticed that I needed to go up another belt size. And it was right there. And I had been in the same belt size for pretty much a good 5, 6 year period. And I kind of at that point realized like I got to make some changes. Like I felt like I had put on a lot of weight, and I knew I had put on a lot of weight, but it didn't really hit me until I had to go up that belt size. And then I just said, I've got to make a change. I've got to make a change. And I know the only way like that you can lose weight really, really fast and efficiently is through cardio workout. Like I've done the weightlifting, I've done the CrossFit, I've done all that kind of stuff. And CrossFit did an amazing job, by the way. I'm not going to denounce CrossFit at all, or people that do CrossFit, because it does do an amazing job to help you lose weight. But I just couldn't stay at it consistently, and the money it was costing me to go to a CrossFit class was just like astronomical, and it was just beating me up. So I said I need to do something at home. And I knew the only way that I could successfully do something at home was to just basically put on a pair of shoes, go out and run. So I started actually by walking. I started by walking. And I would walk around my neighborhood, and I would take like, I don't know, 30 minutes a day or 30 minutes after dinner and go for a walk, and it was kind of nice because it was kind of relaxing. And as it kind of continued for a few weeks, because I knew I couldn't run, like my knees, my ankles, everything, I couldn't do it. I'm not used to it, couldn't do it. I was never a runner, never. Anybody that knows me knows I was never a runner. Like I could ride a bike for hours. I mean, for miles and miles. I mean, I would ride bikes for hours on end. Put me in a pair of shoes and have me run, couldn't do it. So I decided that I need to make a change. I need to just go ahead and do this, because the only way that I'm going to successfully lose weight is to just do cardio and just get out there and do it. So I did. I got myself a pair of running shoes or cross trainers or whatever, and I just started. And it was a slow process. It wasn't like, the first day that I went out there, I was like, bam, here we go, 4 miles. No, it was like, I think I started at like, I want to say maybe a half a mile. If I ran a half mile, like I was happy. Now I'd walk before, I'd walk after, but I would do a half mile. I'd jog a half mile. And then I realized like I started documenting these runs through the Nike Run Club app on my phone. And when I started documenting it is when I started noticing how much better I was getting at the running. Now you put me on a weight scale, I really wasn't seeing anything. I really wasn't seeing any changes. But when I saw what I was doing week after week after week, I was progressively getting better. I was getting quicker, and I was getting better stamina. Both, my lung capacity and my legs were getting better. And I started to realize like, okay, I can do this. When you start seeing, like, most people, as you step on the weight scale and you start seeing that progression, that that's the encouragement. But a lot of people get discouraged because they get on the weight scale and they say, I'm not losing any weight, this isn't working, I'm gonna stop. And that's not what you need to do. Like, for me, it was, I want to see the progression in other areas. Like the weight, I know the weight's going to come off. It just takes a while for it to come off. My thing was, what is my endurance? What is my time? Am I getting better at it? So I started to set goals. I started to say, okay, well, let me do this. Let me train for this during the week. And then when the weekend comes around, I will see if maybe Saturday or Sunday I can run this. And that's what I would do. I would focus on my times, I would focus on my distance, I would focus on a lot of things. And eventually I got to the point where it was like, each week that was going by, it was like, okay, I did a mile. Then the next week it was a mile and a half. And then maybe I didn't feel comfortable going past a mile and a half, okay? So what I did was I focused on my time. What can I do to cut down my time? So I bring my mile down, my minutes per mile. I would bring it down from like, say, 11 minutes, and then it went to like 10 minutes a mile. And then it went to 9 minutes and 30 seconds a mile. But then when I got to 9 minutes and 30 seconds a mile, that's when I realized I need to bring myself up a little bit. So now I go to 2 miles. So I go to 2 miles, but I'm back down to 10 minutes because I'm trying to, regenerate myself and save some of that energy. And I just kept doing that week after week after week. And then I started to realize that I can do 3 miles, I can do 3.5 miles, I can get a 5K in, no problem. So then I would start to push myself. Can I do a 10K? So on like a Sunday, I'd train all week doing 5Ks every day. And then on Sunday, I would say, let me push myself and see how far I can go. I'll go for a slower time, but if I can make that 6.26, that's awesome. That is awesome. That is a goal. So yeah, I think my first 10K that I did, I honestly want to say my first 10K was probably like, 10 minutes and 30 seconds a mile, but I did it and I completed it. And that's what the goal was to complete it. But then as the times were getting better and my distance was getting further, I also started to see weight coming off. I started to hop on the weight scale. And it's not like, 30 pounds just melted away like butter. No, that's not the case. I would see maybe 2 to 3 pounds a week come off. And that's eating right, that's drinking water, getting rid of the bad stuff, eating healthier foods, doing the better options, all that kind of stuff. That's what I would do. And I think that's really what helped pave the way to help me lose weight. So it was really making the change in your life, realizing that in order for this to happen, you're going to have to make some sacrifices, and it's not going to be easy. Nothing in life is easy. Getting a career, starting a life, getting a house, buying a car, nothing is easy. Nothing is easy. But getting out there and running and just doing it, pushing yourself, and you start learning about life as you're doing this. You start pushing yourself, and you say, I can do this. I can do this. I can run it. I did it. I went from here. I went from way down here, and now I'm up here. And if I can do this, I can do just about anything else. There is nothing that says I can't. I always had problems with like my ankles because I did a lot of extreme sports when I was a kid. I did play football, I did play hockey, but I also did a lot of like skateboarding and BMX riding and stuff like that. And I really think that took a toll on my knees and my ankles. But here I was at 30 years old, give or take, 30 years old, putting on a pair of running shoes for the first time and going out there and running. Again, I was never a runner, never. But just getting out there and pushing myself through it. And then realizing as I'm doing this, the changes that I can make. If I can do this and make the change in my life to where now I'm healthier, I've lost all this weight, I've pushed myself to prove that I can do this. what else can I do in my life? What else can I do? And push yourself just a little bit further. And that's what I did, because it transitioned into so many other aspects of my life to push myself just a little bit further, to better myself and to better my family. And I think that's kind of an important key that a lot of us don't think about when we're going out there and running, or even trying to get off your butt and make a change in your life. That the running is just one small step into becoming a better person. And that's what got me into running, was I wanted to be a better person. I wanted to be in better physical shape. I wanted to feel accomplished for something that I hadn't done before. I wanted to prove to myself that I can make a change, and that failure is a stepping stone. And is there setbacks when you're running? Absolutely, 100%. But you can't give up. You can't give up. And if you keep going, the sky is the limit at that point. But you have to keep going, and you have to keep pressing on. So my word to you, and I know this went a little bit longer than I really thought about, but my word to you is, if you are a runner like me, an average person that's just getting out there, or even a guy that's just, or girl, or whatever, in this day and age, if you're just getting out there and wanting to make a difference in your life and run and get started in some physical activity such as running, I can tell you, you're going to have hurdles in the road, but you have to keep pushing through. Your mental perseverance is almost as important as your physical perseverance. And if you can push through each and every day, you can push yourself through to get to the next level, that is an accomplishment. And then how can you transition that into your everyday life is also what's important. Because once you're able to figure out that you can do it, and trust me, you can, okay? Every single one of you that's out there that is watching this video and says that you can't do it, you can, okay? I am proof that you can. You have to push yourself. You cannot give up, okay? It's easy to give up. It is. It's super easy to give up. But what's the challenge in that? Life is a challenge. Life is about accepting these challenges and moving on to a better person, a better life, a better self. Face this challenge like you would every other challenge that you make in your life, and push yourself to the next level. So why I started running was because I wanted to change myself for the better. I wanted to have a better life, a better health, a better future, and just a better me. And I didn't do it for anybody else but me. I wanted to prove it to myself more than anything else. So if you guys really like this video, I encourage you that if you know somebody that might be struggling to run, to maybe get into some sort of physical activity, have them watch this video, share it, like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. And keep watching my channel. I've got, obviously a ton of reviews on shoes and whatnot, but I think videos like this are just as important about running than they are about anything else. So I know a lot of people usually prefer me doing car videos, but something like this I think is important for everybody, especially nowadays with COVID and everything that's going on in the world. I think just being able to have that stress reliever such as running is just as important. So again, if you like this video, please hit the like, subscribe, share, all that kind of stuff. And again, thank you for watching, and as always, enjoy the run.